So I've been reading a lot recently about cognitive flexibility and its benefits. So Trevor, what is cognitive flexibility?
Hmm. Okay. Well, it's a capacity or an ability to change your behavior or thinking when it's a good idea or adaptive to do so. In other words, for example, when environmental circumstances change and you want to get the best out of the environment. So I often think of cognitive flexibility as something which you can respond to following instruction. You know, someone can tell you change now, or you can get feedback from the world. You know, someone can say this is a good thing or a bad thing, or you're rewarded or punished and you have to change your behavior. Or finally, you can just, generate cognitive flexibility internally. In terms of what we think about with, creativity, for example. Cognitive flexibility is probably a very important contributor to creativity in exploratory behavior and curiosity. So technically speaking, cognitive flexibility has always been associated with the functioning of the frontal lobes of the brain, okay? Technically, it's one of the triads of so-called executive processes by which the frontal lobes control behavior. This triad is working memory, that's all to do with remembering telephone numbers, and for example, behavioral inhibition, that's stopping yourself from doing stupid things like stepping out on the road before you should or blurting out something stupid. And cognitive flexibility is, as I say, changing your behavior or thinking. So you could think of it in terms of changing your mind about something, or, for example, lateral thinking, the old concept of, thinking outside the box, for example.
Can you explain some of the benefits of cognitive flexibility, especially when it comes to learning?
Yeah, well, obviously learning involves adapting to changes in the world. And so some people think that cognitive flexibility is learning, but I think it's a bit more than that, because you can have flexibility when you're switching between well-established habits, for example. So I think it's rather supraordinate to learning, but learning includes simple forms of cognitive flexibility, I would argue. A neuroscientist would talk in terms of plasticity, neural plasticity, the growth of new nerve cells. And they're probably both involved in new learning and in cognitive flexibility, but I don't think they're quite the same thing.